Good afternoon, everyone. So today I'm going to speak about custom metadata in Salesforce. So I'll just talk about what is metadata first. So metadata is a data that describes other data. So it's that simple. Means it is one data is actually explaining or describing the other data. So we'll for the better understanding, we'll take an example. So we have a object called account. This is a standard object in Salesforce. And the structure of this object means what it is, what it contains, what it is made of. This is a metadata. So this object, account object contains fields. Some of the fields are name, rating, annual revenue. These This is what is used to describe that object. And so this is also a metadata. This fields inside the object is also a metadata. Now this fields also contains records, and which this records contains the address of the values stored in the fields. So these records are also metadata. Now, the metadata is indicated by a suffix called suffix underscore MDT. So I just show in the org how metadata is indicated. So yeah, I'll just move on to the org. So this is a metadata, demo metadata. So this is the API name underscore MDT. This is how we identify this as metadata. There are some fields and there are some standard fields and some fields in a metadata. So standard fields are master label, developer name, created by, last modified by. And we also have custom field types, custom fields, which are, these are the field types which are supported in the metadata, custom metadata. So metadata relationship, checkbox, date and time, email. Okay, these are the different data types which are supported in a custom field. So I just show that also in org. Yeah. So when I create a metadata, we get a standard fields which are created. The developer name, the master label, last modified by, created by, and we also have custom fields. Now, if I go to create a new custom field, you will see the different data types which are supported. The metadata relationship checkbox. If I just show just one explanation, just one demo of how to create a metadata relationship, means we can relate two metadatas. So suppose entity definition. So this is another metadata which is there. So this is a metadata relationship field which I have created. You can see it here, entity definition. There's a relationship field. So these are the ways which we can create custom fields. Now inside the custom fields, we can create records. So these are some records which I have. I'll just open one and see. So we have commission, delivery status, verified customer. So these are some records which we have, and these are the values of these records. 20 dispatched. These are the values with a checkbox ticked. So these are the values of that records. Now, moving on. So these are some methods which we use in custom metadata. That is get all. Get all is a method which we use to return all the records, and the records will be returned in the form of a map. And in the map, the developer name will be the key, which is a string, and the metadata will be the value of the map. So we have an example here where lead commission is a metadata, and we have got the get all. We are using get all to get all the values into a list. And we also use another function is get instance. Suppose we want only single records. So we use get instance. So this way, we can, these are methods which we can use to fetch the data from the custom metadata. Um, now so one of the example of custom metadata is that it is customizable, packageable, and upgradable. So customizable means, suppose we have in the app exchanges, we have different kind of apps managed package which we can use to create apps which are for a particular task or particular purpose. And for these apps, we can suppose we want to suppose people users use my app, they install it and use it. And suppose I want to upgrade, I want to add new features, new fields, or new features which I want to add. I can upgrade it later on. And once the customers update the app, they will get the new features also. So I don't have to, I can do it all in the backend. I don't have to make any changes in the, without affecting the software which they use, the package which they use. So this is one advantage. And another advantage is it can be deployed to the other environments along with its records. So I will just show one how deployment is done. I'm using Copado tool here to for a deployment, just to give a demo. First, in the Copado, we have to create user stories first. Start the project and credential in the. I've created the custom metadata in the dev1 environment. So user story is created. Now I have to commit the changes. So user story in Copado is similar like a change set which we create in a sandbox. So here I just select custom metadata. And all the changes which I have made in the custom metadata has appeared here. And whatever changes I want to deploy, I will select and I will commit changes. So this may take a few seconds. In the meanwhile, I'll just tell the remaining advantages. So so we saw the relationship field which we can create. This is one advantage of metadata. It supports relationship between the relationship between custom metadata types. Then, since it has a capacity to hold the records, we do not have to write a separate query for the socket to access the records. Then values for the test class, when we have to write, uh, we can retrieve the values in the test class using the metadata. And also it supports validation rule and page layouts. So this validation rule, which we can see here, that custom metadata, the below we will see it supports validation rule. So these are validation rules and the page layouts, which it supports that also. Okay, so now the deployment, so the changes have been committed. Now we can just promote. So first we have to check whether the changes have been committed here. Yeah, yeah. The user story selected metadata have come here. So that means the commit changes have happened. So next we have to go and promote and deploy. So click here, promote. Well, so the deployment pipeline, I'll just show. Basically, pipeline has, I'm trying to deploy it from the dev one environment to the UAT. Yeah, so this is the deployment pipeline, dev one environment to UAT. So this way we can deploy metadata changes to from one org to the other. Then uh, there are some limitations of the metadata. So we can create a maximum of 200 metadata inside an org, and a maximum of 100 fields can be created in a metadata. And the records which returned per transaction is 50,000. Then size of a metadata can be a maximum of 10 MB. We cannot create a field, formula field in the metadata, and global pick lists are also not supported. Next, use cases. We can combine the configuration records, means can use with custom functionality. So we can use the metadata in some along with an FX code and route the payments to a correct endpoint. This is one use case. And also, suppose we are using in an organization, we are using some accounting app, and you can create a custom metadata. And for suppose we have things like duties and VAT rates. So these rates can be put inside a custom metadata, and it can be incorporated into the code, and we can use it in the accounting app. So if any changes are to be made in the VAT or duty charge changes, it can be used in the custom metadata, and also it will not be visible to any outside users. It will be remain secured inside the metadata. So this is the advantages of custom metadata. So basically, custom metadata is basically used in an organizations where uh, if we have to store the data and deploy it, and if any configurations have to be made, this is made very easy without affecting the production org. We can do it using custom metadata. So this is how the main advantage of custom metadata. So that's all I have for this presentation. Thank you.
Well done, Rupak. Nicely you have
Yeah, thank you.
presented. Okay, so all those Copado part, everything came out well. Just can you
Yeah,
just give
thank you.
me an explanation about what is the difference you have learned between the custom label settings and custom metadata, right? So what is the difference? Will you be able to tell? Like custom settings and custom label are in one side and custom metadata is other side. So what is the major difference between these two?
So custom label is to store one data, basically one value inside uh, in a label, and we can use this value to in the org. And suppose, for example, commission or
Mm.
commission is one label which we have. We can use it in the we can use it in the code. And if we need to change the commission later, if the user asks us to change the commission, we can change. We need not change make the change it inside the code. Like we can directly go and make the change in the custom label. Now, if we have multiple values, if you have more than one commission,
Mm.
suppose we have two different profiles are there, and we need to provide commission to each different profiles. This will not be possible using custom label. So that is where custom setting comes in. And so we have we can use list of commissions,
Mm.
and we can also use role hierarchy, where we can provide commission based on each profile. So this is
So
where
what
custom,
about the deployment part of these two? Like when you deploy the custom settings and custom label, will you be
yeah,
able to deploy the data also?
custom setting and custom label. If we deploy only the components go in, the records will not, the records and the values will not be deployed. So
Hmm.
that is one disadvantage. that is where the custom metadata comes into is used, has an advantage. Uh, so then custom metadata, when we come to custom metadata, we can, create fields, validation rule, page layouts, these, and different multiple records we can create, and deployment is possible. And so this is the advantages of metadata over custom setting and custom label and custom setting.
Thank you. Thank you, Rupak. It was a great session. Thank you so much. Anyone is having any other questions to Rupak? Okay. Thank you, Rupak. I'll stop the recording. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
If you are interested to learn Salesforce, visit AJ Skill Development website. There you can find our course curriculum and you can come to know about the list of courses we are offering. We are offering Salesforce Administrator and Salesforce Development courses. To know about us and the team, you can visit our About Us section. This is an organization we are doing Salesforce training from 2018, and we have trained and guided 2000 plus candidates so far. And if you also want to know about our placement assistance, visit our placement assistance section where you can find the list of people and the category. You can see the list of people who got trained and placed from our site. You can also visit their LinkedIn pages to get to know about our trainee and also the feedback from the relevant trainees. Okay. And also, if you want to do the course inquiry, click on contact us. You will see the form. You can fill the form and submit the inquiry. Our team will get back to us. Thank you.